It's time to deal with some unfinished business. The black community has developed a taste for frauds. We try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, even when there's no longer any doubt. And there are people who've used that to take advantage of us. Over 4 months ago, I released a definitive statement on one of the most well-known internet frauds in black America, Tommy Sotomayor. And his own actions after the release of that video further cemented my claims. And I can now tell you all that I placed a few well-laid traps in that video that the fraud, known as TJ Sotomayor, and his gullible followers fell for hook, line, and sinker. In my video, The Lie Machine, I explained how Tommy lied about TV1 making him the host of their documentary program Celebrity Crime Files. I showed that Tommy said he'd done the filming with an outfit called Mad Dog Studios. The Yellow Pages makes it clear there's only one Mad Dog Studios in the entire state of California, but that it's a music studio, not a television production studio. When I put up the screenshot from the Yellow Pages, I could have removed the listing right under Mad Dog Studios that said Mad Dog Video, but I knew that a pathological con man and liar like Tommy couldn't resist trying to weasel his way out of this with yet another lie. He predictably went immediately to Facebook and gave everyone a link to what he said was, quote, Mad Dog Studios, but the link took you to Mad Dog Video. Many of his deluded followers simply refused to accept the reality that he had not misspoken and that he meant what he was saying and typing, and these simple-minded suckers started repeating his lie right on cue. Well, now they all look as foolish as they are, because if you had bothered to actually go to Mad Dog Video's website, they clearly post for you all the TV networks they've done work for. And it's not simply listed by parent company. They list the individual network stations. Practically all their work are short television commercial spots, but the real point is that they've done no work for TV1. And just in case anyone wants to try to retreat to the deception that perhaps their website is in error or they just forgot to list TV1 on their site, let's talk to Mad Dog Video themselves.
This is Eric. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, I was calling to ask, I spoke to Al yesterday. I'm doing a documentary. We're thinking of doing something like Celebrity Crime Files, like on TV1. Have you done anything with TV1 before?
I don't know TV1, no.
Okay. Or is that a Michael question?
No, I can help you. I mean, of course
Okay.
there is. I mean, Mad Dog is my company. Michael works with us. He pretty much runs the bookings over here along with me.
Okay.
So either one of us can help you.
When you defend a fraud, you come out looking like a fool and a fraud yourself. During the Lie Machine video, I repeatedly said that Tommy had presented no proof that he was actually even working on a documentary. Now, common sense and credibility would dictate that if someone says something like this about you, you would simply put up a short video clip and debunk them. But that's not what Tommy did. For the next 48 hours, he put up no less than 4 videos name-calling and hurling profane insults at me. His regular peanut gallery of immature sycophants found it all highly entertaining, but there's one thing missing: the proof that he claimed he had. He had time enough to post up almost a half dozen videos about me, but not even 1 second of footage from his documentary. At some point, any sensible person is supposed to realize he's now just trying to use any tactic to distract you from the bottom line. He's trying to avoid discussing proof of his documentary. But that would require these people who threw their lots in with him to admit they were wrong, and that wasn't about to happen. At this time, he released his now infamous sneak recording of Dr. Umar Johnson, where he lied on both Dr. Johnson and Tariq Nasheed, saying they said things about me that clearly they didn't say. This incident quickly blew up in his face when Tommy was called out on his lies and led to a sobbing apology for his behavior in yet another video. Tommy apologized to everyone for this, except me, for the lies he told on me. After this, Tommy's internet credibility was completely shot on YouTube. So to protect himself from people criticizing him about Lie Machine and all the fibs he told, he came up with a new con job. he decided to make a website and charge people to see his videos and shows. Now, why would anyone pay for something that they were getting free all this time and could get for free from anyone else on YouTube? But this ploy had two purposes. One was to make a quick buck. The other was his way of trying to prevent people from being able to go through his archive of shows and videos to expose all the lies he was prone to telling. And understand, all of this squirming and slithering around was in response to just one video by me. Since that time, Tommy has gone into full pathological breakdown. He's openly attacked Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, and just about anyone else whom he felt should have backed him up in his scurrilous lies towards me.
In 3 episodes of a movie called Hidden Colors, trying to tell you where black folks be at, Jews never came up. You know for a fact there's a lot of hidden colors that the Jews did. And you did 3 damn movies and you never said a word. You just missed the hell out of that. So you are trying to help black folks be mad at white folks. Think about it. You trying to help the racial division, this stupid propaganda between, the black folks hate the white folks. And they're trying to hide our hidden colors.
In revealing his own true colors, he's even come out in full defense of the New York Police Department for the strangulation murder of Eric Garner, caught on video, by saying that Garner was responsible for his own murder by the police.
Just because there's a camera on you does not mean the cops still won't whoop your ass.
Thank you.
So don't get Billy Badass because somebody's right there hyping you up talking about we recording it. And let me tell you something. That dude did cause a lot of his own death because he sat there and thought because they're recording it, I can be belligerent with these cops.
But he would pretend that he is now supporting Eric Garner's family. Some people simply have no shame. And this brings us back to his alleged documentary. Tommy raised nearly $40,000 in donations from well-meaning people. And after his internet income implodes, he claimed he would begin working on his documentary in January 2014. He pushed that date back to March, and then again to May 2014. During this time, people see him going around the country, racking up unreal airline miles going back and forth to see his Russian girlfriend at all manner of hotels, NBA games, and anywhere else. And people began asking, what is he doing with the Fatherless America money? Again, the liar in Tommy takes over, and he opts to tell a stupid lie rather than a smart truth. He goes to Facebook to squash criticism and rattles off a list of names of people he claims would be in the documentary. The only one on his list that he could actually even partially validate was Vanessa Bell Calloway, one of the extras from the movie Coming to America. It's a poorly lit, low-resolution sit-down that's okay if you're doing just another YouTube video, but it's going to be a big disappointment to anyone who thinks he's going to be presenting them with the next Frontline or Hidden Colors. After all, you were told it would be a movie, not a YouTube video. But it's the rest of his list that's even more troubling and starts to sound just like his lies about Mad Dog Studios. Now, you can't say that someone's going to be in your film until they've been paid or a contract has been signed with filming dates and a firm commitment. But Tommy figured he found a way to say people were working on his film even though no one had actually made any commitments. He claims independent filmmaker Tim Alexander would be helping him, but an investigation quickly showed that Tommy only made a phone call asking Tim if he'd help. And after that, Tim never heard from Tommy again. But Tommy keeps bringing up Tim's name as if Tim has made a commitment, when in reality, Tim is still waiting for details of an offer. Tommy pulls the same stunt with Professor Griff. See if anything sounds familiar here.
I don't know if you're familiar with Tommy Sotomayor. And I hear he's going to be coming out with a documentary called A Fatherless America. which basically dovetails on what I've just brought up to you earlier. I want to know, he mentioned that you were going to be in his documentary. I just wanted to know, how was it filming for the documentary?
Well, we didn't film it yet. All I did was get a phone call, and we briefly talked about it, so nothing happened yet. As soon as it happens, I'm going to call you and let you know, all right?
We also see Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed's names on the list, which is downright bizarre in retrospect, considering what we all know by this point. From Mad Dog Studios, to Tim Alexander, to Professor Griff, and beyond, Tommy thinks that he will tell any lie he needs to in order to save his hide in the moment, and hope that no one remembers or cares once the truth is exposed down the road. And that's where the story takes its most disgusting turn to date. After all the hypocrisy, all the false promises, all the lying, all the scamming, all the evasion and con artistry, the final insult is here. Last Friday, during his radio show, Tommy stated that even though he claims he hasn't been squandering the money he was given, that he now wants to do another crowdfunding for his documentary. That's right, a second crowdfunding for the same documentary, even though he got twice as much as he was asking for the first time. And to add insult to injury, he's claiming that it isn't him who wants to do another fundraiser, that it's actually all his listeners who are pleading with him to do one, even though they all have the ability to give directly at his website now. He says it's all of you who are asking to donate, but that you told him you prefer to give through Indiegogo.
And like I said, we're going to put it back up because people are asking to do another one of the things. A lot of people are asking. I'm like, I don't want to do one of those when I already have a website. But apparently people like donating to this whole Indiegogo thing. I just assumed if you have a website, they donate it there. You can see what it is. So I don't have the things up there.
In the last 24 hours since I released that audio, Tommy has removed his Facebook like page account, his main Facebook personal accounts, and his Twitter account. So now, the final results are in. The scam has played itself out. There's nothing more to see. The reason Tommy was able to make his original crowdfunding goal is because of me and my audience. That's why his numbers imploded after I left him. But there's still an unfinished matter to tend to. The people who no longer wish to be part of this charade now want out. They've asked for refunds repeatedly, and Tommy has refused to give them. So I put out a call to people who wanted a refund. Since many of them wound up giving to Tommy based on my calls to his show, I feel a responsibility to assist them. Tommy, on the other hand, was not pleased. He even sent this threatening email to me, trying to intimidate me into no longer petitioning people who wanted their money back. Clearly, that's failed, but it does show you the lengths that he's going to in order to conceal his fraudulence and protect his scheming. But it ends today. These are the names of some of the people who've requested that Tommy refund their donations to Fatherless America. These are good people who donated to him because they see what's wrong in Black America today, and they sincerely want to fix it. So they gave to someone they didn't know in the hopes that their taking action would help lead to change. And instead, these people were misused and abused by an internet con man who boldly preached the truth while quietly stealing their money. And my biggest fear is that con men and liars like Tommy Sotomayor will make it harder for legitimate Black people to use this new advent of crowdfunding to accomplish things. It's taken so long for Black people to begin to believe in one another again, and something like this would be just the thing to make us regress into our old, distrustful ways. And I hope that my efforts will do something to help make sure that doesn't happen. And so I'm going to stand up now and do what I can to help these people. Incredibly enough, my efforts to make sure people didn't get defrauded were met with opposition by some. I'm not sure how many of you are eager and chomping at the bit to willingly pay for someone else's cocaine and strip club habit, but I don't agree with these people at all. And that is not what people who donated to Tommy thought they were doing. And I'm not going to allow this to go any further. Tommy, I am now directly addressing you. You have until the end of business, Friday, August 1st, 2014, to return every single penny that each of the people on this list has given you. If you do not do so by that time, I will personally be taking the next steps of action against you, representing all of these people. Black men in America don't get very many chances to do something special, and you used yours to cause every conceivable form of harm and disgrace you could imagine. And it stops here. I've also responded to your email threat with this list of names as well. If you'd like to have your lawyer contact me now, please do so. It'll save me time tracking down their information. But one way or another, the day of the Geechee is over. Black America is going to walk the straight path to empowerment, and anyone who wants to play on the plantation of foolishness and ignorance is going to be required to stay there.